Well, guys, Kamala did an interview and she mentioned AR-15s, weapons of war, universal background checks, conflated background checks with red flag laws, said she was a gun owner, and don't worry, guys, there's nothing to be concerned about because at the end of the day, she reaffirmed she's not taking anybody's guns. Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. Everything that's going to be linked in the description box below, so please make sure you share this out, disperse it as you would see fit to further spread the Second Amendment in light of the aggression and tyranny that's coming at us from the Kamala Harris campaign and potential presidency. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and with that said, let's get right into it because it is Saturday, and what you deserve on Saturday is straightforward. Kamala Harris. Oh, it's so bad. Okay, so she went on an interview because all of a sudden, when the polls aren't going her way, we need to do something. What do? We put our candidate who can't talk in front of cameras to talk. We've been talking about this for a while. It's not our main bailiwick on this channel, but I have mentioned a couple of times on this channel in Second Legacy. What's going to happen is her numbers are going to start to fade off the sugar rush, and they're going to have to utilize their best asset, which in this case would be Kamala Harris, to talk about Kamala Harris. The only problem is, when Kamala Harris talks about Kamala Harris, it makes you want to, not be there. Legitimately. So this is a little interview that she did. This is in the Philadelphia area. This is Pennsylvania. This is the key swing state she has to take to win. All right? I'm going to only show you the excerpt for about a minute and a half around assault weapon bans and guns and all that. Here's a whole different thing. Again, I'll link it if you want to watch the entire thing. You got 11 minutes, which feels like 40. But let's get right into it because she's got some things to reaffirm. I'm going to start off with basically 3 little segmentations, but let's get it. This is in an interview she did, I believe it was yesterday.
Crime and public safety are 2 major issues right at the forefront of voters' minds. In Philadelphia as well, where crime is a significant issue. When we talk about crime, the conversation turns to gun safety as well. And I think you actually probably caught a lot of people off guard, maybe a bit by surprise in the debate the other night when you mentioned that you were a gun owner. I know you said it in 2019 as well. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about your values on this issue. When it comes to gun ownership, where do you draw the line in America on gun ownership and gun use?
Before she answers, I would just like to make something abundantly clear. Let me hear you in the comments if you agree with that statement. It's none of her dang business. She does not get to decide the line of gun ownership in this country. That is not her. She is not a queen. She is not a king. She's not any type of despot. She's not. She is literally the vice president who is working in a constitutional republic where the representatives have all the power, which is a direct representation of the people. She doesn't get to decide what the line is and where do we get to get our rights and where not, according to Kamala. This is a stupid question. But anyway, I digress. It is the media, so I got to give it kind of a lay of the land, obvious point. They're going to push gun control. But let's also just hit on a little interesting point on the setup of this question. You know, you revealed a lot about yourself in a great moment of vulnerability. You said you were a gun owner. Yeah, real vulnerable. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact of trying to appeal to the middle. No, sure, nothing. Nothing. All right, let's continue. Let's hear her answer. We gotta bounce back and forth on this. I have to do it to you guys. I had to watch it, so do you. Check this out.
Like you said, Brian, I am a gun owner, and Tim Walz, my running mate, is also a gun owner. We're not taking anybody's guns away.
Oh, they would never.
I support the Second Amendment, and I support reasonable gun safety laws.
All right. At least she didn't say I support the Second Amendment, but we put in and. We're making progress. Let's continue.
Part of my approach to this is I was a career prosecutor for most of my career. I have personally prosecuted homicide cases.
In California.
I have personally looked at autopsies.
In California.
I have personally seen what assault weapons do to the human body.
In California.
And so I feel very strongly
in California
that it is consistent with the Second Amendment and your right to own a gun to also say we need an assault weapons ban. They're literally...
Okay. So not only, guys, she's a gun owner, so she would never take your guns away. She's just going to tell you how she's going to take your guns away. But she would never take your guns away because, again, see earlier statement, she's a gun owner. So we're good, guys. But at least we didn't say I'm a Second Amendment believer in what, but I believe in the Second Amendment and, we're making such progress. All right. Very important piece. And I hit it a few times. I said it again. California. That's a state. That is a state with extremely stringent gun control. That's a state that doesn't like assault weapons too much. They really don't like AR-15s. They have pretty strict, registries and all sorts of tasty little objects for the left on their gun control needs. Isn't it weird that the person saying that, we need to ban assault weapons because she did lots of federal homicide cases, or excuse me, a lot of cases in California that involve homicide. She's a prosecutor in a state that has an assault weapons ban, and she's seen the ultimate damage that an assault weapons can do to a body, but she's in a state that has an assault weapons ban. Anybody? Anybody. Okay, just wanted to point it out. I'm sure it wasn't just me. But now we're going to get into the point where we start hitting the very well-known tropes that the gun-controlling left does. Wait for it. Here we go. Remember, I believe in the Second Amendment, and we've made progress. Check this out.
Weapons of war.
Weapons of war.
They were literally designed to kill a lot of human beings quickly.
She just described every single gun ever made. She described a bow and arrow, she described spears, she described shields, the phalanx formation. Literally every single type of weapon has been used in warfare. They're designed for warfare. Yeah, that's the point. So that there's a guaranteed cost if a United States government or any other external government steps out of line and starts trampling on the rights of the citizenry. They are armed with guns. Good Lord, this whole weapons of war thing, so are pistols, so are sniper rifles, so are bolt actions, so are semi-automatic Garands. Good Lord, let's continue.
I say we need universal background checks. The majority of NRA members support that. Why? Because it's just reasonable. You just might want to know before someone can buy a lethal weapon if they've been found by a court to be a danger to themselves or others. You just might want to know.
You just might want to know, The only weird thing about this is, first I'm going to hit the obvious one right up in front. 95% of NRA members love universal background checks. They can't wait to get more of them. They want them, they want them so bad. It's ridiculous. It's just those mean old Republicans in the gun lobby. The 95% of the NRA statistic that they consistently quote is not the NRA members going, I would love a national registry to make sure that from party A to party B to party C, we know where the gun is all the time. I would absolutely love that. No, what they're talking about is the 4473 system, the NICS background check system, which goes through the FBI, and then the gun is basically given a green light or a red light, sometimes a yellow light. But the whole point here is she's conflating the NRA and universal background checks with NRA and 4473s, which they were instrumental in establishing. I'm just saying. But anyway, now let's get to the other part here, where she conflates the universal background checks and red flag laws. Because she didn't say I'm for red flag laws. She said, we need universal background checks because you just might want to know that somebody has been deemed by a court a risk to themselves or others. That is red flag law language. She just tied universal background checks into red flag laws, which circumvents the entire point of I'm not going to take your guns because you're going to know where every gun is. You got a court system that's going to take the guns from anybody and everybody, and they, again, know exactly where they are. She is so daft in the idea that she's trying to hide the concept that she wants to not take guns. And she just said how she would take the guns. We're going to establish a universal background check. We're going to ban assault weapons, and then we're going to get every single serial number and know anytime that it's transferred A to B. But we don't want to take your guns. We just want to know where they are so a red flag law court can easily just take them from you. But it's okay because we know where they are. Literally what she just said. Guys, you cannot make this up. Is it November 6th yet? Oh my goodness gracious. I will see you guys on the next one.